Meanwhile, Antic at the other end with a bucket underneath. Antic, the 31-year-old first-year player from Macedonia, whistling a 6% free throw shooter from the line on the season. And it's been a tale of almost two different seasons for him, Doris. As you chronicled a little bit earlier, November and December, he was maybe among
away. But this is exactly what you were hoping didn't happen if you were Indiana.
George taking out his do-it-yourself kit as Paul George with a sweet move to the bucket. Granger was a good locker room guy, quote-unquote. That's in the rearview mirror either way as Paul George gets to the bucket.
Three-point attempts Atlanta has had in their total shots. It's incredible. Korver makes you work so hard off multiple screens, and they go to the other side of the floor with Carroll.
They've already gotten up 15 three-pointers. Paul George counters and knocks down one himself.
We talk about Millsap and his diverse offensive game. How about this young guy?
And back comes Paul George. On the break, draws the hit. And we'll go to the free throw line. Team for a good part of the regular season led the NBA in assists per game. Ended up number 2 in the league to the San Antonio Spurs.
They got your starting lineup now if you're Indiana back on the floor.
David West playing with 2 personal fouls. And George knocks down the free throw. He has 10.
As many opportunities. Nice little strip there.
George with a steal, and that could be a clear path. Throughout the playoffs, Paul George goes to the foul line for the Pacers. Paul George, good free throw shooter. 86% on the season. Starting to find his way a little bit here, Doris, with the last 8 points.
It over in crucial situations late.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
How about the way Brooklyn finished that ball game? I mean, Paul Pierce, you made the point. You know, he had 6 points, but when it was crunch time, he delivered.
And Paul George starting to heat up a little bit. George off the baseline screen, trying to post up. Double team comes from Antic. Nice trap in the corner. Hill out to George for 3. Wow!
It's good activity by the Atlanta Hawks. Good decision making against the pressure from guys. Cover the difference in playoff experience. Total number of games 399 for Brooklyn going into that.
Here's George at the elbow working against Korver. Good help by Antic. And that's going to be a foul against Antic. Well, the first day of the NBA playoffs concludes later tonight as Zach Randolph and the Grizzlies take on Kevin Durant and the Thunder. First round of the NBA playoffs, Grizzlies Thunder tonight at 9:30 Eastern time on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. And Memphis, Doris, a real throwback of sorts in this day and age of three-pointers and shots. And back comes Paul George. Under 2.5 minutes to go. 15-point advantage for Atlanta. A whistle and a foul. And Paul George going to go to the free throw line. Now, we talked about watching the NCAA tournament together recently and going to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. on a recent road trip at the end of the regular season. Well, on Sunday, the NBA playoffs return for another team.
And now they come up in pressure, trying to make Atlanta make some mistakes.
A little more hard on his players, but I think Vogel, and sounds like he has tried just about everything at this point. West from straightaway missing. George with the rebound. And he knocks down the 3 over Korver. And they're going to review this one, I think.